Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sailing fans of all ages, CapnJak here, CapnjakSailing, in beautiful Pelican Bay, Costa, Florida. Man, I'm telling you what, this place is stunning. Um, and the thing is, what's really hilarious is I was talking to some friends that I met, some new friends, over on a smaller catamaran over here, and he told me, "Oh, this place is gross. It's dirty and nasty and horrible compared to where he just was down in the Dry Tortugas." Man, I might try and make her down there. That's a pretty stellar place down there, the Dry Tortugas. Heard you can get into some rough weather getting down there and back. My friend Doug went down there and they had a little bit of a faux pas getting back. Had ran into some nasty weather and didn't have a great time with it. So I'm just kind of going on here, talk to you guys, let you know that we haven't died. Sissy probably thought we were going to. I might have thought we were going to. So if you're wondering, we were down in Fort Myers Beach, anchored down there. We were on our way south. We were gonna go down, go around the point, and come up the East Coast. Well, my friend called and said, "Jim, you got to get moving. Your weather window's closing. You need to go. No more. You can't delay anymore. You got to go. It's summer. There's going to be storms every day, so you got to go." So we looked at the forecast. This was on Father's Day, on Sunday. We at 11 o'clock, it was raining and kind of crappy, but we went out because the weather was supposed to settle down at about 1. So I figured if we had a couple hours of crappy weather, we'd be okay. Yeah, we went out for a couple hours and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. We were into 12-foot waves rolling us on the side, 30 knot gusts. Not that I have wind instruments that work, but that's what we're assuming, 20 to 30 knot gusts. Lightning, that was probably the thing that chased me back. So we were out for about 2 hours sailing south. We were down to a place called Bonita Springs, and rather than call my friend because it was raining, I didn't want to bring my phone on the cockpit. I didn't want Sissy to try and drive the boat when we're rolling and bouncing and all over the place. So I just said, "Screw it, we're turning around. We're going back. We're going back right now." So we got beat up 2 more hours going back. Big rollers from the sides. We got in, we got anchored, and then it really kicked in. Then we had some wicked wind and tons of rain and lightning. Man, it was brutal. Brutal. While we were anchoring, it was actually pretty nice. Thankfully, I didn't have to go out and get my butt kicked while I was trying to hang onto the front of the boat and drop the anchor. So we got back in the boat and Sissy was scared. I was scared too, but Sissy was really scared. Sissy was to the point where she had said, "Jim, I don't think I can do this." And I said, "Honey, we're going to give it a couple of days. We're not going to make any rash decisions. I'm scared too, but I'm not ready to throw my chips in and go home. I'm just not ready for that." Excuse me. So I knew that Monday was going to be a nice day. It was forecast to be low winds, no real storms, partly cloudy, a little bit of rain. So I said to Sissy, "We can continue and go south, or we can turn and go back up to Costa and just anchor there and until you feel comfortable again, because I know you're safe there. You're safe there. You like it there. I like it there. It's kind of a home base." And she's like, "All right." So I'm like, I got the motor started to pull up the anchor. We're going out of the channel and in Fort Myers Beach. And Sissy, I said, "Honey, are we going left or are we going right?" And she's like, let's go right, let's go north, let's go back up to Kayakasta. I said, okay, are we going to go outside and sail up the Gulf? And she was still really leery, really scared of the Gulf. Or we can go up the ICW, which, we had never done. And, it was a good experience. So she's like, let's go up the ICW. So we go underneath the bridge. I posted that video of me going under the bridge. That was really cool and pretty scary, actually, but not terrible, just a little bit. So we were about 6.5 hours motored and sailed a little bit up the ICW. Got in here, hooked up, and that's where we've been since Monday evening. It's now Sunday evening. I'm probably going to get this video posted on Monday, so, about a week. We're going to run back over to Punta Gorda. We need to get fuel, we need to get gas, and we need to make a plan. One option is anchor up in Punta Gorda where she doesn't like it, and I go get a job and work, part-time, make some money, because there's some things that I need that I can't afford. I need to get my autopilot fixed or replaced. A new Raymarine autopilot is about $1,600. Justin said he's got an autopilot that would be less than that, but he doesn't know what all we would need to make it work. So I don't know if that's something I'm interested in. I do know that I have to have an autopilot, and I do know that I want to get the wind instruments working, because right now I just don't know what, like when the wind is getting over a certain amount. I have the feels. I can do this, and I can tell you that the wind's blowing about, but I like to be able to log that stuff and keep track of it. So that's why the boat has a wind indicator on it, but it just doesn't work. So, I don't know if I have to replace the whole thing. It has a brand new head unit on it up there, and the unit in the back lights up. Everything seems like it works, but it just doesn't read anything. So maybe I'll check my wires again. I've redone the wires once because they were held together with household type wire nuts. So I soldered and butt connected them together with shrink wrap and all that stuff. So I got all that done. Still got nothing. So maybe I'll play around with that a little bit. I mean, I know where all the connections are for it, so I can get down on that. I also have to put in my battery selector switch, which I have a brand new one. I just haven't put it in yet. Once I get the battery selector switch and I have it set up so that I have a starter battery and I have house bank that I can switch to, then I will be able to, put my new alternator in so I can charge a battery. I can't charge the house bank with it because they're lithiums, and lithiums, when they get full, they just shut off. And if an alternator is putting out power and all of a sudden where that power is going just shuts off, it burns it, instantly kills it. So that's, I could only have it on the starter battery when I have the alternator on there, when I'm running the engine. Okay. And then when I anchor, of course, then I'll just flip it over to the house bank and we'll be on house bank. It's real easy to do. I just haven't done it. I had a friend, Steve Secord, help me with testing the wires on what's going where, and I have a pretty good idea, what we're doing there. I am still an amateur. I'm still rank on this. I don't know anything really about it, but it can't be that difficult. It's it's 2 wires. Yeah, it's not a big bad deal. So that's some stuff I can do. We're gonna talk to my friend Justin about, because Sissy would feel more confident if we decided to go like south. If we had someone sailing with us, not on our boat, but just buddy boating with us, she'd feel more confident and less nervous and less freaking out. She got real scared, guys, real scared, and it's not a negative thing on her part. I was real scared too. So it's just, one of those things we need to work out, and I'm not ever gonna go out when there's thunderstorms again. I've decided if there's the little lightning markers on my app, I'm gonna just say we're gonna stay where we're at. You know, I'm not lightning probably would have more trouble hitting a moving target, but we're gonna we're not gonna go do that again. That was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Um, we turned into the waves for a while, but then we were going straight west, away from the coast, and you know, we needed to go south. So then I would work my way back, and when the rollers would lessen up a little bit, then I would turn south, and I'd go south, and all of a sudden, just boom, we'd be one rail to the other rail to the other rail, just over and over and over, and it was really a tough situation. So, uh, I guess I'm probably gonna get some hate for this. It doesn't matter. I'm my heart was beating pretty hard too. So I do have some really good news. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've lost a bunch of weight since we've been down here, and working like I do on the boat and working in the yard where I was. We were anchored or at the dock for a long time. Um, well, this yesterday morning I got up, I hadn't taken any of my blood pressure pills, and I had Sissy take my blood pressure. It was 122/82, which is perfect. So I went all day yesterday, no blood pressure pills. I had a couple of drinks last night, kind of had a really nice time. We swam in the dark in the bioluminescence. You put your hands underwater and they're glowing and sparkly. Oh, it's the coolest thing. But this morning I got up and I was expecting the blood pressure to be up just a touch because I had had some drinks. I was 134/84. So, I did not take blood pressure pills second day in a row. Tomorrow morning we'll test it again, and if it's starting to elevate a little bit, I'll probably cut it. I'll just cut it back to just one pill a day. But when I came down here, I was taking 6 100 milligram labetalol pills, 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. I was taking 2 25 milligram lisinoprils, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. Okay, then after I started losing weight, then I took my pills one morning and I was sitting there talking to Sissy and I kind of dozed off, and she's like, I think you're over medicated, so we're going to cut you down on your pills tomorrow. So we went down to 2 pills, 2 100 milligrams in the morning and 2 at night, and I was still kind of groggy. So then we cut it down to 1, and that was fine. So I was doing well on just 200 milligrams a day and still taking the same amount of lisinopril. But now this morning and yesterday morning, none. And I feel great. I feel fantastic. But I think I'm down about, I'm going to say 55, 60 pounds, and I feel wonderful. I jumped in the water last night and I swam around, and I just, when I looked down, I was all glowy because of the bioluminescence, and I thought, God, I'm not really that fat anymore. I'm a little bit pudgy still. I got a little belly, a little bit, but it's not so bad. So I will fill you guys in. I'm gonna do another video when I get back to Punta Gorda, where we have signal and I can post a video in a half hour. Right now, it'll take 2 days if I start it here. So I'll probably start it tonight when I'm done, and then it'll by the time we get into Punta Gorda, it'll be loaded. So that'll be Monday. Anyway, so our next plan is to say, where do we want to watch fireworks from? Because they have fireworks down here, and 4th of July is coming up real fast. So I want to be somewhere where I can watch the fireworks. I'll probably talk to the locals there, and see where they do fireworks in Punta Gorda, and make sure we're somewhere where we can see them, because I really want to watch that. That's my big miss from Warroad, is going to be the fireworks, because Warroad puts on an amazing firework display. A lot of my friends over there say Badetz is better, but man, Warroad's home. So I loved Warroad's fireworks. I still do love Warroad's fireworks on the 4th. It's just a fantastic place. I love the way they have everybody down at the point, and You know, I used to have my little sailboat in right behind the casino there, and the fireworks were going off right over our heads. It was the best thing. So that's my next goal, is to find out where to watch fireworks from. I know I can't do it here because, well, there's no towns really close to here. We're 20 miles from Punta Gorda, so that's a 5 hour motor sail. I'm planning on sailing tomorrow. It's supposed to be a little bit breezy, not like 8 to 10 miles an hour, so super chill. I checked the oil, I checked the coolant, I put fuel in, so we're probably, I got 15 minutes worth of stuff to do to get ready to go in the morning, and we can take off. I did do some projects on the boat. I put the blocks underneath of my GPS because the way it was sitting, I couldn't adjust the angle on it. So I jacked it up a little bit so that the cords don't interfere coming out of the back, and now I can adjust it. If the sun's glaring on it or something, I can adjust it and get it out of the glare. So I did that. I put slide outs under the table, so when we put the wings out on the table out here, they have support. They're not just kind of flopping. They were kind of floppy before, and it's from '95. I mean, it's kind of old, and some of it's a little bit worn, so it's okay. That's fine. I got that taken care of. I did some projects. I had one good day of projects. Oh, I swam underneath the boat, and one of my the zincs are let me grab one. I'll show you what they look like. Ding ding ding. So these are anodes. Zinc anode. Excuse me. Follow me. You're supposed to follow me. Why didn't you follow me? There I am. How about that? Yeah, I got out of sight of it and then it lost me. So this is what they call a shaft zinc anode. This one's actually too big for my shaft. I bought this at the secondhand store. This is 1.25 inches. Mine's a 1-inch shaft. So this is a softer metal. They're held together with a couple of screws that go through, go through here into the nuts. You can see the nuts there. And they go around the shaft, and they tighten up. And then this is a softer metal than the steel. So if you get into some stray current or anything, instead of your good steel and your prop getting eaten up by electrolysis, these things get eaten up first. I have 2 of them on my shaft. Actually, I have 3 because the old one that's still on there isn't in bad shape, and I just left it on there. So I put 2 new ones on. But when I put one of them on, one of the screws, I must not have tightened it down enough. It's an Allen wrench, Allen head screw, and what I was doing is I'd go underneath, hold my breath, tighten till I couldn't, and I'd go back up and I'd get my breath and I'd go back down and I'd tighten some more. And I must have not gotten it all the way tight because one of the screws worked out, and I could hear it rattling tat, 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 underneath the boat while we're motoring. I didn't like that, so I went down there, and I that's why this one doesn't have any screws in it, because I took the screws out of it and I brought them down there with me, and I used my my snorkel tank, and so I could just go underneath there, breathe normally, and actually I pushed up against the bottom of the boat and my feet were on the ground, so I was sitting on a real solid thing, and I tightened them down good. So now we shouldn't have any problem at all with that rattling. And if it starts to rattle again, I don't know what I'll do. I'm out of screws, so I'll probably have to go buy some new zincs. I'll take the one off that keeps breaking loose, and I'll just buy a new one. They're $10. They're not that much. And they can save you a lot because a new propeller is $400 or $500. And if your propeller gets into some stray electricity, stray current, then it starts to get pitted and disintegrate quickly. My friend Gladen Rugland told me that he's seen somebody put their boat in on like a weekend, and the next week they went to go somewhere and they couldn't go anywhere, and their prop had completely disintegrated because they didn't have any zincs on. So that's what these are for. So I got that taken care of. That's fixed up and good to go. Got pelicans here in Pelican Bay. I'm probably going to dive bomb my boat because we got a million bait fish underneath it here. Yeah, so we've got a lot of things to discuss, you know, and to be honest with you, if Sissy really honestly, after we get back over there, if she says, Jim, I just really honestly can't do it, then I'm going to say, can you hang on for a couple of months? You know, I want to make it at least a year. I want to go 5 years, but I don't know. We don't have the funds for that. So it'll be at least 1 year that we will have been on the boat. I really need to get to the Bahamas. I need to see some really pretty water. And I think that's what I'm going to use to try and convince her. You know, we haven't seen anything yet. And we've been in, you know, this place, which is beautiful. But there's other places that are really beautiful, way more beautiful than this. And we need to get there, you know. And now it's storm season, and it, you know, rains just about every day, and which doesn't bother me at all. A little rain don't hurt nothing, right? But you know, it's hurricane season, so those never surprise you. They don't just pop out of nowhere. They you know they're coming, and we've got a few different places where we could go with the boat and anchor down and tie up in the mangroves and be all as tight. One place is actually about a quarter of a mile that way. There's just a little tiny little hole. You putter around there, you go into there, and you tie up into the mangroves, and it's a hurricane hole. So the mangroves have been here since before man was, so they don't usually get blown away by hurricanes. Even here, all the big trees are gone, but all the mangroves are all still right where they've been, you know. And Ian direct hitted this place. The eye went right over Kaya Costa, and you can ask the rangers there because they got their butts kicked. So so me and Sissy will do some discussing, and like I said, if I have to, I'll go work for a few months, and I'll use a bicycle, and I'll just dinghy into the dock, and I'll bike to my job and work and come back. I got some friends that actually kind of offered me work. I don't know if they meant over this summer, but it might happen, Mike. I might come and see you. Anyway, you guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're at 410 people, man. Like, share, and subscribe. You guys are doing a great job. If we get up to where we start making a little money at this, it just makes it, that's the longer I can go, you know, the longer I can sail, the longer I can keep making these videos. So, like I said, this one's not anything special. Just wanted to kind of fill you in on what's been going on. Probably going to catch some flack for it, but hey, sorry, Jim Bob. It's just the way it is. So, you guys, I want to thank you again for tuning in and watching this. CapnJak out.